What's up, everybody? It's your boy Phil Shocker, the nice Hedgehog here with the Nat Dex Low Tier Division Week 1 Games of the Week. So, very good games from what I've watched. Very interesting, very different, and stuff like that. There were definitely there's actually one game that's missing, and the game is late. I feel like since it's already the beginning of the new week for week 2 games and all that stuff, we're just gonna have to unfortunately forfeit steering, and I think it was Alfredo's. I could be wrong. I'm tired, by the way, guys. So if I get stuff wrong, you're just gonna have to let stuff wrong. But steering's matchup, so they're not going to be incorporated for game of the week. I will look at their game, and if I do think their game of the week is better, I'll make sure to show it off in a different video for that. But for right now, we're going to do the games that we're done for this week. And we have 2 games up for the debate right now. We have Witch Pop versus Shadow Delayed, aka my father. And then we have Haunch versus DD Quad, or Quad Yad, or whatever they like to go by. I like to say Quad, because the Y is a little silent in there. So there were 2 games here. One where one player at the end positioned himself well, and then one where I think the player really kind of misdid what they should have done in terms of that. So in one of those games, that's what happened, and the other happened in this. So the game I think we're gonna first watch here is gonna be the game of Haunch and Quad here. Um, so what Haunch, you guys know, is the commissioner. We start for the turn one, and a turn one miss of Rock Slide. And me and Shell drops, and that's specs. I want you all to remember when I say misses, because you guys have seen me play, and every time I have Rock Slide, more times out of not, I am missing Rock Slide. I keep referring, and I will make sure this is potent in everyone's brains. You can land more stone edges than you do rock slides. Thank you. Now, with that being said, let's continue with the game. So, he goes into a superior, which was kind of a mistake right there because I let a freeze set up for Rabambi, but he's actually going to go right for the glare. Very risky play on Haunches and actually right there. As U-turn from the Red Steel comes in comes the Drodagon, obviously to set up rocks. Is he going to do that? And the Toxic, and there's the Justice right there of a miss right there. So now he comes to the Venusaur here, as he's actually going to have his rocks on the next following turn, which is a really decently good play there by Haunch. As now he's going to click Earth Power, and Haunch, obviously being the Golbat that he is going to be above it. But now this Dredagon is in, and now rocks are off. But now Obstagoon comes in and he glares him, and that's where this comes an issue. Because first off, you guys don't know, Obstagoon cannot run Guts, but it can still run Reckless, like that Double Edge. I do think he should have packed something like Facade, so he wouldn't have worried about the recoil damage as much, unless he absolutely needed a Double Edge. So that was something I think Haunch should have probably figured out in something in prep. He wouldn't have to worry about his Obstagoon being chipped down to some degree right there. So now in comes this. The Mega Absol comes in. It gets to click knockoff here. Gets another KO in this matchup. Gets the first KO of this matchup. In comes Registeel, and this is where I think Haunch is kind of misplaying right here, because he goes straight for a counter. Now, with Absol, I 100% would have swapped out right there as well, as he's actually going to get his rocks back up. In comes Sand Slash here now. In comes down, and now he's going to set up the spikes, which is now looking definitely. But I got a defog from Golbat. In comes the Rock Tomb on Golbat, and I think this is where DD really messed prep right there. He went for the Rock Tomb, lowering the speed of Golbat, and as you can see himself, he actually didn't think that through to his best knowledge right there, which is a little unfortunate, but it's all right. Everyone makes mistakes. We're not all perfect there. But in comes this Rabambi, and actually reveals to be Scarf Rabambi, so it was Scarf with Reflect, which was really interesting there. But now in comes this Absol, it clicks knockoff, it gets another KO, and now goes to Vikavolt. In comes Registeel now. Registeel kind of gets to do some things here as he's actually going to go for the seismic toss, which I don't know if that play was right, if anything. But oh wait, I forgot. Registeel I think can't have body press in this game. But now Registeel shows to counter, but now Registeel is at the point where it cannot be used to counter this Absol now. And now we're in a very much of a struggling situation now. Here comes the Lycanroc here, and Hodge actually doubles out. And this is one play I don't agree with Hodge. I think that was a free Stone Edge right there or a Rock Slide. I think Hodge was positioned really well right there to go for the KO. DD was definitely catching the Earth Power right there. He does go for the Sludge Won't go damage. And now Haunch is going to just roost spam here for a while. But this is one thing I don't agree with Roost with Haunch's play right here. He roosted until he got pretty much near 100%. Then he went for the Brave Bird spoiler in the next turn that he did get the kill on, but now he's at 50% regardless. And now in comes this Absol. Right here is where Haunch makes a big, big choke play. Here he should have Brave Bird. He should have Brave Bird right there because now he just let a +2 Absol get in front of him, clicks knock, and now this Absol just wins because Absol is going to have Sucker Punch, which thanks to its speed outpriorities his Lycanroc, Cell Rock, and because of that, Haunch is going to lose the game 1-0. The reason why wanted this to be a potential game of the week is just to show off exactly what can happen if you make one mistake, right? And there's also the possibility that someone doesn't expect a set, right? Like maybe Haunch wasn't expecting SC Absol in this matchup, which definitely is a fair accusation right there. I can see SC Absol putting in work, but you have to get the right conditions for Absol and have the right matchup for. Looking at this matchup, it was probably about a 50-50 being brought, so maybe Haunch didn't fully think about that. Um, but right there, though, Haunch make the big mistake right there, letting the Golbat live. I really think he should have just sacked Golbat, because if he sacks Golbat, he goes into his Lycanroc. Lycanroc can live one hit, and then goes for close combat, gets the KO, and beats him. Or goes into Superior if Superior was, well, obviously it wasn't Scarf, but it was, it gets to click knockoff. It lives, goes for the leaf storm to get damage, and then just has to worry about a cell rocking. More than likely could live the hit because Absol was probably forced to go Jolly in the matchup. It was adamant, probably would have been a roll. So I don't agree that Haunch just kept roost spamming right there and then trying to not get damage off. I think that's ultimately what cost him the game right there. And I'm also not saying these things to make a person feel bad. I'm letting people know, and even the people that are have played their games and now look back at these games, they probably have already realized what I've said and everything like that. But I like letting you guys know exactly where some flaws could be in terms of a strategy, in terms of how the team played out. Like Haunch definitely was positioned really well to win this game, at least a 1 or 2-0 right here. But he made the mistake of just kept spamming Roost right there with his Golbat when he should have just went on the offense with his Golbat instead. So I'm pretty sure Haunch will definitely look back and definitely think about that next time he has to face any other teams with using Golbat. But Haunch is a really good player, so I know he'll bounce back after this week. So that was one of the two games. This is where the game was definitely a little flawed on one end. But now we get to the game with my father, Shadow, here. And let's just go ahead and just kick this game off right now. So he's going to lead off with Ham Hands, which I don't understand the nickname for, as he actually does fake out, and that just is a lot of damage by the Ambipom right there. Goes with a double hit, and obviously looks like it's not Technician boosted, because that should have killed, unless it was a very super defensive Talonflame. But in comes the Steelix. He actually lets the Steelix get burnt, which I don't know if I agree with. But if it was just a defensive, annoying set with Steelix, then it makes sense instead. In comes the Rotom, excuse me, which is going to click Will-O-Wisp there, trying definitely to catch one of the main physical switch-ins onto this thing, which is definitely a smart play on his end. But I do think a Volt Switch would have been probably free right there. But in comes a Rapidash. Is going to be a Specs attack, Specs hit, a Moonblast hit, and now in comes the Jellicent. And unfortunately was not able to get the prediction right there, but is now going to go for the offensive prediction right here and going for the wild charge, doing some massive damage as he's actually going to click recover here by Witch Pop there, which is really smart. I would think Strength Sap would have been better right there, but obviously they have the reason for running recover, so that's their reason. Shadow, unfortunately, not being able to make the prediction play right there. He was Sugar Berry, but unfortunately put himself in range of where he could die 2,000 arrows. Now Rotom comes back in. Rotom gets to click Volt Switch here, but unfortunately, due to the fact that he just got trapped there by the bear trap itself, now he kind of has to do something else with it. Here comes the defog, so making sure hazards are off the field, which is very important for the Cloyster, because Cloyster is now Shadow's only way to really win this matchup here. Now in comes Ambipom, and he actually decides to double out, which I don't know if I agree with that play right there. just because of the fact that the fake out was free, you outsped, or it was a speed tie. I think that was really bad positioning. But he actually now goes into this, and if he didn't have first impression, it was a very risky. I don't understand why he didn't make the play that he did, but he goes to the Dragon He's now faster and everything. But now in comes this Bear Trap, and now Bear Trap is going to get sacked off. It lets Zygarde come in. Zygarde now gets to click E Speed for free. But now it's going to put Shadow in a position to where he can get his Cloyster in and start Shell Smashing. And that's going to be really, really good. Now, right here, I definitely think Witch makes a bit of a misplay right here. Witch should have went hard, hard whimsy right there if he had the if he had it. But now Shadow actually goes for the second Shell Smash, which honestly was his smartest play because of the fact that he had the opportunity to know that it was either Scarf or Banded Zygarde, and now positions himself to where he can actually kind of just win the game. And now gets rid of the Jellicent. He reveals to have Ice Shard, which was really clean tech because he honestly didn't need it. And as you guys can see again, that was probably banded damage. In comes the Meloetta. In goes for the Rock Blast. Does not miss his Rock Blast and does need to connect, but thanks to Skill Link, he's going to. And now the Whimsicott is going to come in, and Witch Pop actually forfeits the game. And first off, I'm pretty sure Shadow 1 was just Ice Shard there, but obviously, Witch Pop most likely shows that they didn't have the stun spore or anything to kind of stop Cloyster. But in my opinion, on Witch Pop, if you're watching this, just know I'm not trying to call you out by saying that or anything like that. Just note that it is kind of seem a little disrespectful to forfeit a game. Yes, I know that there's that part of the person that knows, like, yeah, I lost this match. There's no point in keep on playing it. It is respectable to finish a game out because that gives proper kills. And plus, if we're ever using the bots and stuff like that to track the games, if you actually forfeit the match, if you actually forfeit the match while the bot's doing, it can actually mess up the bot. So just as a future reference, if you're in leagues that use Porygon bot to record the matches and stuff like that, or at least the results and stuff like that, please don't forfeit your games because that can actually crash the bot and it can mess that up. So, and it's also respectable to not forfeit games and just let the game be finished out. Trust me, I speak from experience. I've had some games where I have purposely forfeit because I was tired of playing against people that were just doing this and that. But if there were games that I want to give people the rightful kills towards with their mons, then that's what I was gonna do. So do be a little bit respectful next time and just let the game finish out the way it is. Obviously, we're frustrated that you lost in terms of how things went down. Shadow, though, really positioned himself well in this matchup, brother. He knew he had to get Cloyster in to win this game. Cloyster pretty much won if he got the two smashes up. He found. I definitely think they which definitely made the misplay right there of letting that Cloyster shed up set up a second shell smash there when they went for the extreme speed. Shadow definitely was going to take a bit of a risk or gamble with doing that second shell smash though. But I think he knew that they were going to try to switch out to prevent the kill, and he actually took the opportunity to get that second shell smash up. So a really phenomenal read there by Shadow on that point, on that part as well for that turn right there. So that was like probably not an easy decision for him to make there, unless it was my father. Then it probably was easy, but for game of the week, I am going to go ahead and give this to Shadow Gallade and his Tauros. The reason I'm giving this game of the week is the fact that Shadow had to really go around the kind of switching and the really good reads on Witch's part right there. So definitely went in and tried to take advantage of all the switches he had to make, and definitely positioned his Cloyster because he knew his Cloyster was the in-game win con. So the defog from Rotom and the positioning he had to get on his Cloyster to get in and just know the kind of just be able to beat everything else on his opponent's team was really really solid, really well done by Shadow there. So that's why this will be game of the week here. And yeah, nothing else to say. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me like it. Let me know which between the two games you thought was game of the week right there, whether it was uh, the positioning of Shadow Glade or seeing uh DD Quad coming back from a how the game's starting and stuff like that from that. So yeah. But yeah, for me, again, this is game of the week. So yeah, like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll see you guys for the next week's games. And hopefully I can keep up with this. Again, I have a personal life and I have so many leagues to do. and I have so much things going on. So I'll try to do this. I also will start trying to also. I should have said this in the NatDex one as well, but I will probably try to get at least one coach from each division every once in a while and try to get some coach interviews to give them the thought process of why they joined the league, why they specifically wanted to join the certain format that they want to do, and also kind of go over their teams a little bit too on why what got them creative in terms of wanting to go with these team routes. So definitely look forward to that, guys. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Like I said again, I'm gonna repeat. Yes, I know, but thank you all so much.